Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having a good night. I know it's late. Man, oh man, life has been a whirlwind for me. So, you guys are probably used to seeing me every single day, multiple times a week. And this last month, I honestly think it's probably going to be this way throughout the holidays, too. I don't think there's going to be a lot of time where you're going to see me working a full week. Um, I'm going to do my best, but if you're not already following me on Instagram, it's just at Luna Affinity. I would do that because there are times where I offer free reads over there if I'm not live. I also will offer opportunity to get readings from me even if I'm not live. That's always been the goal anyways, is to move off of YouTube live streams and just do private readings. However, I'm not at that place yet. But I would say that if you're looking for access to me more often, make sure you're checking Instagram. It's really the only thing I can do to guarantee that you will see me more than over here on YouTube. I just got back from Texas. It was really fun. My aunt flew me out the night before. I stayed with her the night before her wedding. It was a really sweet, special moment. It was like the only thing, I was the only person who got to spend time with her the night before her wedding. So, in the morning of and everything. So, it was really, really sweet. And trying to think. I did helped with her hair and makeup with her and her girls that she had there that morning. Basically worked her whole wedding that day, but it was still a lot of fun. The theme was Dia de los Muertos, which is Day of the Dead in Mexican culture. My grandma is half Mexican, so lots of colorful jewel tones, sugar skulls everywhere. She got married on a film set. So my aunt is an actress, and my uncle, my new uncle, who she got married to, he is a producer, a TV producer. So they got married on a film set where they had basically something new every hour that they were doing. And at the end of the night, they had like this live band and everything. So it was really cool to go into like the little sets and stuff. They had like a little chapel, they had a saloon, they had just like a bunch of different buildings that were old. The set was built between the late 1800s and early 1900s. So there's been TV shows that have been filmed there, and it was a lot of fun. They did an amazing job. And, I'm the closest thing she's got to a sister. She's 5 or 6 years older than me, but my grandparents had her very young. So she has all brothers, my biological dad, and my uncles, but she's the only girl. So when I was born, I was the closest thing she had to a sister, and she flew me out there, and it was a really, really special, great weekend, but it went by very, very quickly. So, yeah. And then this week on tap, we have live stream tonight, live stream tomorrow, Friday. I haven't figured out quite what I'm doing, but I'm going to be spending Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday with my husband because we just had our 1-year marriage anniversary and 9 years together. And my aunt got married on our anniversary, so we weren't able to be together while I was in Texas. So we're going to take some time out to celebrate ourselves in our marriage and our relationship. And then I'll be back for a couple days, and then I'm leaving again for the Connecticut because my brother is opening a coffee shop in Connecticut. So we're going to be there for his grand opening. Lots of stuff going on, and pretty much every weekend for me is booked until the end of the year. So you guys are going to just have to be along for that ride. And sorry if I'm not as available as I can be. Yes, it was really, really cool. Um, yeah, Smiley. I if I can, if she'll allow me, I'll share some pictures with you guys. Cause like, there's a show called The Sun, and it's on a couple things. I think it's on like Apple TV, YouTube, things like that. But it's basically a Western. And that TV show was filmed where she got married, and it's a lot of fun to see. Because my uncle, he's on set all the time, and my aunt, she doesn't act as much anymore, but she's got her own business, which you guys will probably start seeing her drinks and stuff in the stores, but that's later on, and that we'll talk about that. But anyways, they did an amazing job. It was so beautiful. Just really so happy for her. And thank you, IJ. Thank you. We ate our cake I'm going to make sure I'm not missing anyone's questions. We ate our cake from our wedding on Monday. That was a year from our ceremony. So yeah, I missed some questions here. Hey, Wee Vibes, how are you? So we did our best. We did the best that we could do with what we had, but we definitely want to set some time aside for us this weekend. Just, we're probably going to stay local. I don't know if we're going to do anything crazy, but I think that we have some plans, and basically just hang out together, spend time together, just like basically set intentional time aside to celebrate our marriage. So, all right, let's get your questions answered, guys. So this is for Smiley. Is another baby trying to find you? I have a no. I have the tower. Smiley, no. Beautiful. Beautiful. I have a yes. 3 of cups. This talks about celebration. Ajas. I have a no, Ajas. I have the hermit in the moon. James. James, I have a yes. I have the 3 of wands. Oh my gosh, Nightbot is posting stuff that should not be posting. Ignore Nightbot. Ignore. I forgot to disable those notifications from the collaboration. Wow. Just ignore that. Sorry about that. If that was confusing. All right, we vibes. We vibes. I have a yes, the Emperor. To be. To be, I have a yes, Ace of Pentacles. IJ. Yes, 10 of Cups, IJ. I'm getting a yes for you, High Priestess, the Sun. We vibes. Yes, it's been a crazy week. It's been so crazy. I basically was touched down in Texas for 24 hours. That's it. I was on a plane on the way in and the way out. It was a very busy but beautiful week. I'm still jet lagged. I think that's actually been part of my problem this week. Thank you, High Priestess, because I went from our time zone to Texas time zone back to our time zone and then a time change, literally within 48 hours of each other. So I think my body's a little bit confused too. What the heck is going on? You would think that being in Texas, being like used to the hour behind time change, that I would have actually been set up better coming back here. But I think the only way that would have helped me is if I was flying back in on Sunday after the time change already took place. I think because I came back and it was still the normal time, and then there was a time change a couple hours later that really threw me off. Smiley, thank God. You're welcome, everyone. You're welcome, High Priestess. Amy, post your question again for me. Hey, Sienna, welcome in. Natty, I'm not getting a yes right now. I feel like, yeah, I'm getting a no for you, Natty. I have the 9 of Swords and the 5 of Cups. Sienna, post your free question ASAP, please. Sophia. I have a maybe. The Hierophant, I feel like this person is holding on to you, Sophia, but they are hesitant, okay? You're welcome, Natty. Amy, I have a yes. 10 of Pentacles. You're welcome, Sophia. All right, we're going to let Sienna post her question, and then all the lists are going to be closed for the night. First up, we have IJ. IJ, I believe I have you down for a BOGO and a channeled message, but let me know. Also, just a heads up, friends, I will start to offer other options as far as readings go. I'll be offering some astrology options. I'll be doing like aura readings, basically, where I take a picture of you and tell you like what aura I'm seeing for you or picking up for you. And then I have been going back and forth on fertility readings. So I don't want to be too redundant because I do fertility readings with my cousin, but I really enjoy doing them. So I'm going to have to figure out like how I'm going to go about that. But there are going to be some things that I'll be throwing in there and adding in. I haven't figured out if I'm going to do that officially before my website is live or before, but I'm so just a heads up, we will be offering other things as my business changes. Because I am changing, my interests have gone, and I still love tarot, I still love oracle, I'm really good at it. Don't worry, that's not going to change. However, you know, when you're doing the same thing day in and day out for years, you start to find that you have other callings in other areas of life, and your soul wants to grow and learn new things. And so my business will change as my abilities grow and change. So just keeping that in mind, not everything can always stay the same. So there will be things that I'll be changing, other things that I'll be offering. We'll still be doing tarot because I just feel like I can't not do tarot. It's in my blood. but I am interested in other areas and other avenues. And sometimes if you do the same thing all the time, you can get pretty burned out from it, which I'm sure you guys understand in terms of a hobby or a job. You kind of are looking for a change. So I can't be expected to do the same things all the time. I have to be changing it. And so we'll be working on that from now until the end of the year. But I still think it's really exciting things. I still think it's fun things. But I'll still be doing channelings. I'll still be doing tarot. I'll just be incorporating other things into my practice. All right, Sienna. Let's see. I am getting a yes, Sienna. I have the Page of Pentacles. Kelsey. I don't think it's going to happen immediately. I have the Five of Cups and the Three of Swords. I think there's going to be a bit of a lag between graduation and the job securing. I think that you're going to be having a little bit of a time gap there before something comes in for you. I have the Five of Cups and the Three of Swords. You're welcome, everyone. All right, so that's it. All lists are closed. We're working on donations, and then I gotta hop off. I will be back. You're welcome, Kelsey. I will be back tomorrow night with more readings. Please make sure if you're not following me already on Instagram and you have an Instagram, you go over and follow me, because there are other exclusive things I offer over there that you will not see over here on YouTube. I went ahead and posted the donation list on the screen just so everyone can see where they are. Everyone was a pre-order, so we can't do skips tonight. We're just going to work in the order that it's coming through. So IJ is channeled message in BOGO. All right, IJ, so let's start with your channeled message if that's your preference. All right, so IJ, it seems almost like you guys are in this place of like, she feels so seen by you, she feels so recognized by you, and I think that it's overwhelming her. Not overwhelming in the sense that she feels overwhelmed, but overwhelming in the sense that it's consuming her, it's taking her over. And I feel like there's so much good that comes from your connection, but I also feel like she goes, I can't, well, I'll explain in the letter, but she's basically saying, like, I can't let him keep waiting. Like, I feel like he's coming for me, whether I'm ready or not. And that song by the Fugees, Ready or Not, Here I Come, You Can't Hide, Gonna Find You and Take It Slowly. And I feel like that's kind of how she feels your approach with her is that you are being patient with her and you are letting her take her time, and you're never going to like do something to make her feel uncomfortable. But she feels like regardless of her mental state, regardless of whether she's ready, you're coming for her. And you might take it slowly, you might take your time, but you guys aren't, but she's not escaping you basically, because you're coming for her. So it's definitely like this sense of feeling like, okay, I guess I got to get my shit in order because this man is very clearly into me, wanting me, and likewise, so therefore I have to figure this out. So she says, you are doing everything I want you to, and you're being everything I'm looking for. So why am I so scared to accept it? You dazzle me. You make me feel wonderful and appreciated. But I feel so conflicted inside because while it's exactly what I want in so many ways, I'm not sure if I'm ready. I have been trying to get myself ready, though, because I can't make you wait much longer, nor do I want to. I want to be close to you. Please be patient with me. I will make it worth it in the end. And I'm going to send you your message right now. All right, and whenever you're ready, you can post your questions. So the first thing that's coming through is that she needs reassurance, IJ. Your constant reassurance is important because here's the thing. She needs to know that while she's taking her time to get herself ready or ready herself for you, that during that time you're not losing interest. I think that that is probably like worst case scenario for her, is that if she takes too long or wastes too much time, that you'll just move on. And I know that there's no way to tell her this. Um, and I know also for you, you're like, well, that's not going to happen. But from her perspective, because she doesn't know, I think that it's a concern for her. So while she's working through this and while she's trying to ready herself, I think that continuing to pursue her, in a respectful manner, but continuing to pursue her, giving her that reassurance that she needs consistently will tell her without telling her that you are not losing interest, that you are still wanting to pursue her, and that when she is ready, you will be too. Because I think what's happening is that she's in this place of, if I'm trying to figure out how to word this, if she sees, like, for instance, maybe your position, your stance has not changed, you're interested in her no matter what, but let's say like 2 weeks go by and you change your actions towards her, like you're not communicating as much, or you're not commenting as much, or liking as much of her posts and things like that, she will notice that energy shift, regardless of whether that's your intention, regardless of whether or not your stance has changed and your feelings for her have changed. They could be completely the same, but she's going to take that as that you're retreating, that you're pulling back your energy from her. Okay, so I think you just have to show up consistently, show up the way that you have been. So that way you guys don't have to have the conversation of, oh, I'm waiting for you. Because, like, maybe that's not a conversation that needs to be had right now. But she'll know energetically, she'll know that, oh, he hasn't changed towards me. He's still being the same way. And that's going to give her that reassurance and security that she needs, to feel good about this connection, that she still has time. And I think that's a big theme for her. I don't know if this is like a past life thing coming through, because maybe in the past she felt she didn't have time. Maybe there was a past life where, she didn't have a long lifespan, or maybe she had a terminal illness, or I'm not quite sure. But it's like there's this theme of time in terms of her karma, where she's constantly feeling like she's running out of it. And I feel like there's a lesson here, that she's abundant and that she needs to remember that she is abundant. And I think that you help her with that. I think your patience, and maybe that's your lesson in life, but your patience is if you think about it too, that's patience is a theme of time as well. So maybe your theme of life and your lesson is patience, and hers is to give herself that patience, and through you she learns to a way to do that, and not constantly rushing herself. And then secondarily, which kind of piggybacks off of what I've already said, is she just needs time. I cut the deck on the channeled message deck, and it literally says, I need time. So I think for her, I think that's important that she feels that she has that. That if everybody else is rushing her for deadlines and due dates, and she's rushing herself because she feels like she should be in a certain place that she isn't right now, that you're allowing for her that room, that grace, that space for her to feel like, okay, maybe this is the one area of life where I don't feel I need to rush it. Now, I still think that she will rush herself, because I think that she also knows that maybe energetically she has time, but physically she doesn't. So I still think that you can count on her starting to date, I would say within the next couple of months to a year. I don't think that she wants to push that back too far, but I still think that she could use a little extra time right now. You said you've been feeling an intense pull to get your shit together, so you get it. I get it. I think I do help her calm down. Yeah, I would say so. I would agree with that. And I think also too, IJ, is however you show up for her, make sure it's authentic, make sure it's true, make sure it's not forced. Not that you would do something like that, but she can pick up phony compliments like a mile away. So if someone's really just trying to get in her pants, she'll know. She can differentiate between a genuine compliment versus someone who's just all talk. So make sure that the things that you're saying, and the things that you're doing is always from the heart, and make sure that it comes across that it's very intentional and well-meaning and authentic. Because I was going to say, I don't think you're not, but I also, you don't have to compliment her every single day to get the same result that you're looking for. Sometimes it means more when it's spread out and it's not all the time. But if you feel it and you mean it, then say it, and there's not a problem with that because you're still showing up authentically. All right, what should he know for his future self? After IJ, we have James. James, I'm not sure if you're still in the chat, but we'll be working on yours. And I've got your questions on Instagram if you're not here. So the one thing that is coming through very strongly, IJ, is that you're meant to have a wife. You are going to have a marriage and it's going to last the rest of your life. I don't know if it's necessarily something you should know, but it's something here. So I'm telling you that, and I don't know if you've been married before, but something's telling me you're a one and done kind of guy. And I feel like Spirit wants you to know that when you get married, that's it for you. That's it till the end of your days, the end of your times. You don't look at marriage as a non-negotiable, and that you are meant in this lifetime to have one wife for life. You are meant to have a family where you leave behind a legacy. I think that you individually will have a legacy, but I think that also through your children, they will also leave behind a legacy as well. And I think that family unit, that feeling of security and a sense of belonging and a sense of feeling welcomed into your home is something that you really strive to foster, something that you really want to last, and something that you really want to feel within your family. And so that's something really big that I want you to know, is that you're meant to be a dad, you're meant to be a husband, you're meant to have it all, and not just oh yeah, I'm going to get this thing and then we're going to be separated. No, this is a family unit. This is official, you guys are in it for the long haul. So much so that it could carry into the next life after this. So, I just feel like that's important for you to know. I also feel like you should know that you're meant to have independent wealth. I don't think that I almost feel like it's almost like ancestral coming through. Like your ancestors have been setting their lineage up for you the way that you've been setting up your lineage for the generations after you. That they're sitting here going, IJ is the one. IJ is the chosen one of our lineage. That he is meant to have independent wealth. He's not meant to rely on anyone else for this. He's meant to have everything he needs to pass on and heal generations to come. So that's why you probably feel so strongly in this life to have multiple streams of income, because it's not about setting yourself up financially, which is an interesting message, because I'm hearing that you want to set up your family. It's not about you. It's not about, because IJ, I think you can live simply. I feel like Spirit is saying, he doesn't need a lot. He's good by himself. But the reason why he feels so called to have all of this, income, this is not for him. This is for his wife. This is for his children. This is for his children's children. This is why he's doing this. And so you need to know that's part of your, soul purpose, right? This isn't for you. Of course it's for you. You're going to reap the rewards of it. But I feel like it's more no, I have to leave something behind. I have to care for my people, for my family, for those that are important to me, to causes that are important to me. That's what is my calling. And so through this, you have that independent wealth, because what's happening is if you're stressed about finances, you can never fulfill your calling, because you're going to be too worried and focused on what it is that you have to do that you're not going to be able to focus on helping other people. So Spirit's like, no, we've got him. Like your ancestors are like, no, we've got him. He will be fine financially, because if we can take that burden and that stress off of him, then he can do the good that we need him to do, because he's not going to be worried about finances. So those are like some big themes I feel for you, IJ. You will have a sense of accomplishment before leaving this earth. Do you have any questions about anything? You said that's what you've been working on quietly now. Yeah, it's good. It's good to move in silence. I feel like that's something I've told you before, is don't tell people your plans. That's what I mean, IJ, because I know that you are. I know that you feel fulfilled. You're like, I've got what I need. I'm good. You're not worried about it. And IJ, you don't need a lot, really. You're the kind of person where you're just like, oh yeah, it would be nice to have this, or it'd be nice to have that, but you're not sitting here craving the tangible, the materialistic. Your wealth comes from your health, your physical well-being, and from your mental and spiritual well-being. That's where you want to feel rich. You don't really worry about like the tangible stuff, the materialistic stuff. So you're like, as long as I've got my basics covered, because I am a human being after all, and I do have basics that need to be covered, I'm good. Your joy and your passion and your purpose comes from leaving behind something for everyone else. You're welcome. All right, so this next one is for James. We are working on James. He's a channeled message. Hey, James, I'm still working on your channeling. All right, so James, with this message, I am feeling from her that she's things are kind of coming into her awareness in terms of maybe why she struggles the way that she does. And Amy, yeah, that's fine if you want to do that. I think that it's almost like she's starting to kind of get a little bit of a glimpse as to why she is the way that she is. So she says, I know that this connection between us is deeply spiritual. I can feel the power of it so easily. It doesn't take much to figure out that our purpose and connection go much further than what we even understand. And despite this innate feeling, I haven't felt ready, so I just keep you at a distance until I'll feel ready. A big thing for me is procrastination. I don't handle things head on when I should. I just put it off, and I know better. I am just not good at processing feelings. I always feel like I'm on a delay from everyone in my life because of this. If I could just address things immediately, I could figure out how I feel faster and make things easier on everyone. So I feel like with this, she's saying I compartmentalize. Like I put things away in a tidy little box and shove it to the corner of my mind, and I just leave it there and till these boxes pile up and pile up and pile up. So imagine she's showing me like basically her mind is like an attic, right? And it's like everything that she doesn't address, she just puts in a box and puts in the attic of her mind. And pretty soon, now it's filled with stuff. Things aren't labeled, things aren't organized because she threw it in a box and tried to forget about it. Now, when she goes to look for it, now when she goes to try to find this thing that she's trying to address to try to understand, she can't find the box anymore because of all the compartmentalizing that's happening. And she's saying that if she were to just address things head on, maybe she could just get rid of that box altogether. Maybe she wouldn't store it in the attic of her mind. Maybe she could give it away or toss it to the curb or throw it away in the trash. But what she's saying is that because she doesn't do it and she says, oh, I'll put that off to another day, procrastination is a huge thing for her. And so therefore, when she's trying to even do the measliest, easiest thing as far as the most basic form of processing emotions, she can't because she never learned the lesson, number one. And number two, everything's so convoluted. Everything is so cluttered in her mind. She doesn't really know what to make of it or how to process these emotions. So there is something that's coming into her awareness where she's saying, okay, you know what? Like it's coming back to bite me now at this point because now I'm realizing that all this time I could have been doing the work, all this time I could have been handling things head on, and now I'm not. And now I'm kind of in this really fucked up situation where I can't process my own feelings. I think part of it has to do with the fact that she was never really given the proper tools. Something is telling me that she's had people never really taught her how to feel her emotions and what to do with them. And I think that she struggles with that because she was never taught. So there might have been displays shown to her during her upbringing where people just didn't talk about their feelings, where, they didn't say things that they should have said in the moment. They waited until it was too late, and that's really all she knows. So I do think that that's kind of what's happening with her right now. And I think that because she has so many quote unquote boxes in her mind, she's feeling very overwhelmed because she's realizing that maybe it's not that she can't unpack, right? That expression of let's unpack that. It's not that she can't. It's just that she's like, what order do I do? I'm feeling overwhelmed. Do I start from childhood? Do I crawl all the way to the back and grab that box? Do I handle what's recently happened and try to process that? But if I do, then how am I going to make the connection to this thing that happened to me when I was 10 years old? And I feel like she's kind of getting to the point where she's like, this is not good. This is not healthy because I'm trying to push it off or sweep it under the rug. And I feel like part of that is that she's realizing that these things, if we don't deal with them, they will manifest in our physical being. I'm 100% certain that the trauma that I had as a child is manifesting in my physical body. Like, I just know it. Like, I can just feel it. I literally can feel it. Everybody needs that ability to work through these things and to heal that parts of themselves. And it's very likely why she had a very troubled path for a little while, because that's what she does. She compartmentalizes. She says, I'll deal with you later. Give me something now to numb the pain. So I think that there's a lot going on within her right now, James, but one thing she wants to make clear is that she does understand that your connection is very powerful, and very likely that, you hold a mirror up to her and you say, hey, look at these things that you need to work on. And it could be another reason why she keeps you at arm's length, because she doesn't want to. And being with you and like having a relationship with you would require that extra work from her that she's not ready for. So let's see. We're not getting any new influences or blocks right now. I would actually argue that things are a little bit more flowing within your connection in terms of her, because we have the moon here. This is a water sign. This is Pisces energy. So water is definitely in flow. I think that she's feeling a bit overwhelmed, James, at these epiphanies that she's been having lately. And I think that she doesn't really know where to start. I think that she needs someone to talk to that can relate to her troubles, that can say, hey, I've been where you've been and I found my way out. This is how I did it. I feel like she doesn't have the tools that she needs. And this is a hard life for her because she's been in a victim mindset for a very long time, and now she's coming out of it, but no one's showing her the way. No one's giving her a guidebook and saying, hey, this is how you fix this. Hey, you've been through that? Okay, take my hand. Let me show you how to work through that problem. And so she's having to figure out on her own, which is also causing her to feel delayed or behind. I think that's very likely why she chooses the path that she does in her career and in her hobbies and her interests, because she is looking for an external guide outside of herself to try to understand herself better. So, James, I think while she works through these issues, you would do well, it would behoove you to be that kind of solid structure, that consistent person in her life that she can bounce ideas off of and share her milestones with, because I feel like that's what she wants to do. And maybe just this understanding of, okay, romance is not on the table right now. Like, this is not what she needs from me. What she needs from me is for me to show up for her, to let her know that I'm not walking away, to be a good, positive energy in her life, someone that she can share her good days with and her bad days with. Because, when you add romance to it, it's another layer of complication, especially if someone hasn't worked it out. So, and that's hard. That's hard for me to tell you, because I think, okay, I'm asking you to give yourself to her emotionally. I'm asking you to be there for her in the capacity that a boyfriend, fiance, husband would be, but feel like, but what are you getting out of it? It's a tough situation. But I do feel strongly from spirit that they're saying that you are the anchor of this relationship. If you don't hold it down, no, then it's gonna go away. So this is tough. This is a tough place for you to be in, but it's really the only option that we have right now. I do feel like there are parts of your connection where she gets these like downloads. I don't know how else to word it. It's almost like she gets this download from like Akashic records or from spirit or something, somehow that tells her like how powerful your connection will be. And I think she has dreams, and I think she has visions, and I think she has feelings about your connection of what it can be at one point. And the expression, like they say this in TV shows and movies and in real life, where they're just like, if I had only known what I know now, I wouldn't believe you. If you were to tell me I would have this, and that, and this is the life that I would be living when I was, 10 years old, I would not believe you. And I feel like that's kind of what it is like, I feel like spirit's coming in and showing her like all of the amazing things she can have and what a great life she can have. But in the state of mind that she's in right now, she's like, I don't believe it. Like, I just don't think that is for me. And, so, it's almost like her higher self coming through or something, saying you can have this great life. Like, you can have all the things you want. You can have your own business. You can have a marriage. You can have kids. All the things that you're looking for, all the things that you think are not available to you, it is available to you. So I think that there's a lot that she's going through right now mentally. She's just having a hard time, like, merging the visions and dreams and possibilities with like what she actually has right now. She's having a hard time like merging those two lives together, or seeing it from a standpoint that could be realistically accessible to her. She's going, okay, a dream is a dream, but what's reality? And when we manifest in our lives, we say a dream is a dream, what's reality? And then how do I make those two come together? But she's having a hard time doing that. So there's a lot going on in her mind. But James, her attitude towards your connection is the 10 of Cups. Her attitude, her view of you, her view of your connection together. She does understand that you guys are in alignment, even when you're out of alignment. She knows that you're a part of a greater purpose in her life. Let's take a look at your BOGO. What does she want your future to look like together? What does she want your future to look like together? I'm cracking up, James, because I feel like she wants to be your wife. I feel like she wants to be your significant other or your life partner. Now, I don't know if she believes in marriage. I don't know like what her particular views are on that. So when I say wife, I'm talking life partner specifically. I don't feel like she carries herself around with a lot of self-esteem, but in her perfect world, she does. I feel like it's funny because in her dream world of what she'd want for your future, she feels confident, she feels beautiful, she feels sensual, and she feels sexually liberated, and she feels like the trophy wife. I feel like that's a feeling that is so unfamiliar to her, that she wants that. She wants to feel like she's got it going on, Like, what's that millennial, like 1990s? Like, she's all that in a bag of chips. I feel like that's what she wants. She wants to feel like she has that charisma that, like, everybody wants her, but nobody can have her, kind of thing, because she's with you. And I feel like she's just very unfamiliar with that feeling. I feel like she has like ugly duckling syndrome or something. Like, I feel like she's never felt truly beautiful. She's never really felt like she's that, conventionally beautiful type of person. But she wants that for herself. She wants to be able to experience that and to feel that. And I think that she knows in a relationship with you, she could get there. They talk about all the time the husband glow up, or the wife effect, or vice versa. Like, they always talk about that. And I feel like when you're loved right and you're well loved, like, nobody can stop you. And I do feel like that's something that she craves. I feel like she craves that feeling that she feels good about herself. She feels good in her own skin. That she's, with the right person for her that makes her feel beautiful. And I think that she wants that, like, long-term relationship where she knows that no matter what, she has her person. I don't really know if she wants kids specifically. I do feel like it's a toss up here. We have the Two of Pentacles. But I think in general, what she wants is she wants to feel secure within herself. I think that's what's important to her in terms of your future together, is that everything else that comes is just a bonus. But I feel like her bar is so low, James. I feel like her bar is so low that she just is like, I want to feel good about myself. I want to feel secure in my business, in my relationship, in myself before I can think about anything else. But I do think that being a mom is a dream that's in her heart. I think that she doesn't believe it's going to happen for her, though. I feel like she feels like she's too fucked up, that she's like, why would I have a child that I know I'm going to mess them up? Like, I feel like that's her perspective. I think she's scared of getting close to things. I think she's scared of losing things, people close to her. I think she's worried about her influence and her value in other people's lives. One thing I will commend her on, James, is that I think there are a lot of people out there that have kids because they want unconditional love. And I think they have kids because they want to feel unconditional love that they never felt. And they want someone else to be responsible for their own emotions. And I think that when that happens, that is toxic. And one thing I can say for Patty, at least, is that I know that she's selfless enough to know that she would never want to do that to someone else. She's almost like the extreme opposite. So we sit here and talk about, oh, she only thinks about herself. Oh, she only wants this for herself. Oh, she doesn't know what she's putting you through. But I think that when it comes to lineage, when I think it comes to having children, I think that she thinks about this actually quite a bit. She knows that she doesn't ever want a child of hers to feel responsible for her emotions. She wants to feel healed, or as healed as possible, before having a kid, because she doesn't want to pass down her issues onto them. So we can say a lot of stuff about her, but one thing I will say is that she likely won't want kids, period, or won't want them until she feels that she's able to manage herself better. I think that she just is like, I don't want to put myself in a position to screw anyone else up. So, in her ultimate dream, I think she does have a kid. I think she wants to be in a place where she can say, I have so much love in my life. I have so much love for myself, and I have so much love for my partner that I can't contain it all, and I need to give it away to someone else. And I think that's really how having kids should be. But yeah, just taking it one day at a time. Let's take a look at your next question. Any messages from Spirit regarding your relationship? Let's see. All right, so the moon is here to say that for you, James, the path may not be clear, but as long as you're following your intuition, you'll be on the right path, basically. The moon is basically saying, I can't see 2 steps in front of me, but that's okay because my intuition and my inner knowing is telling me that I'm going in the direction I need to be going, and that's all I need. That's all I need, and that's all I can do. So I feel like Spirit is just saying that you're doing a very good job listening to your inner self, not focusing too much on what other people are saying. You also have a lot of pentacles in this reading, so I guess the theme would be the things that are tangible, the things that you can see. So maybe potentially, what is this? Maybe, I feel like this is like a half-baked message, but oh wait, more pentacles. Of course. I feel like sometimes we get caught up. This is kind of what I was talking about with Patty. We get caught up in what things look like, and we get caught up in what we have or what's in front of us or what hasn't come to pass. And I feel like Spirit is saying here with the moon that even though you can't see it, even though it's not something you can reach out and touch, even though the relationship isn't like quote unquote official or whatever, energetically it is. And so you just have to put the trust and faith in that and not worry too much about what it looks like on the outside or what your official titles are. Because if you think about it, if you take yourself out and you just take Patty's spirit and your spirit, you guys are together. You guys have been together. You guys are together now, and you guys will be together in the future. The reason why we put so much focus on logistics or reality is because we are a human being having a human experience, but we still have our spirit. So our spirit's going, this is what you're meant to have. This is where you're supposed to be. And then our human form is going, but time, quote unquote, hasn't caught up and doesn't understand it. So we feel very conflicted inside because we're desperate for that connection, because we want to know and feel solidified and feel confirmed in the belief that we've had all along that we were supposed to be with someone. So it's very hard for us when we know deep down that's what we're supposed to be doing. But in reality, in the tangible 3-dimensional world, we're not seeing it actually play out yet. So it just requires a lot of faith from you, James. It requires a lot of belief from you that even though you're not able to see it all happen right now, that it is happening and it has happened and it will happen. Messages from Spirit. They want you to know that you guys have lived many lives together before. How many lives have they lived together? 12. I'm getting 12 lives. That's crazy. You guys have quite a bit of time that you guys have spent together, and maybe that's why in this life it's just very frustrating for you to be in the position that you are, because you're like, haven't we learned by now? Like we've done this song and dance many times before. Why this is so frustrating. Let's see. I do have the wedding card here that you guys will get married. The situation does involve marriage. Let's see. Can you tell me anything about their relationship? Can you tell me about their relationship? Okay, so I do have the card, let go of control issues, allow the situation to unfold naturally. I know that's not new information, but it is here. They are indicating to me that when I say time apart, I don't mean like you guys aren't going to talk to each other, you guys aren't going to see each other. I kind of just mean that this limbo period before making things official is something that is supposed to continue for a little while. They are showing results or success, James, of you speaking to your spiritual team to connect with her spiritual team. They are saying that your calls are being heard. Your calls to spirit are being heard, and that they are successful. They will be fruitful for you because you're asking for help. You're asking for assistance. Is saying that your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations will bring you together. And lastly, I have a card of just release. The time has come to clear your energy. So, can you tell me a little bit about this? Okay, I think this has to do with her, actually. I don't think this has to do with you. I have release your ex and pay attention to the red flags. So I think that, well, this is hard to relay this to her because you can't really like talk to her about this. I think that it's something that you need to be aware of is that she's still struggling with healing from her past relationship. Like, I almost feel like she hasn't had the opportunity to really sit down and allow herself to feel the feelings that come up when she thinks about this relationship she had with this person. She needs to release these things. She needs to forgive herself. She needs to forgive him. If there's any shame or if there was any abuse or if there's any toxicity that's still left between them, she's got to let it go. I think continuing to keep him in her energy is not going to be healthy for her, and it's not helpful to your connection. But what I will say is that this will be a great indication for you the second that she unfollows him or stops communicating with him, so on and so forth. You will know. That will almost be like a what am I trying to say? I keep hearing the word green light, but it's not going to be a green light. It's just going to be like a sign to you that she is healing. Because what happens is when we are really over something or over someone and we've learned the lesson, we no longer desire to be in that person's life anymore. So I think that that's when you start to see her pulling back from this person, that will be a sign for you to know that she really is working through these things. Okay, so next up I have SB. All right, so let's shuffle for SB now. Calling her over to the chat. SB, if you're in here, please check in, friend. And Amy, if you want to get your questions ready for SB, we have 2 in-depth readings for her, and then we'll be working on yours. Hey, SB. Oh, girl. You know what I'm being reminded of right now? This is so funny. He is going to be the type of person with you where he's never going to be able to say no to you. Like, ever. Even if there's times where he's reluctantly saying, like, agreeing. Like, if he's reluctantly agreeing, like, gritting through his teeth, like, oh, fine. But he will never say no to you. So when I say this, I'm gonna hold your hand. Don't abuse this power, okay? Because the thing is, this man wants to make you happy. He wants to give you everything you could ever want. And if there's something he can't give to you, it's going to make him want to give you these other things that he can even more. So he will never say no to you. And I'm telling you this because I'm in that kind of relationship where I know that if I ask something of him, he's like that now. Yes. So it's going to be like, oh, fine. Like it'll be like, sure. Yeah, I can do that. Sure, sure, sure. And like by the fifth or sixth time in a row of you asking for something, he's just going to look at you. He's going to side at you and be like, really? And then you're going to be like, please. And he's like, fine. Like it's going to be one of those things because he can't say no to you. So please do not abuse this power. I'm very picky on like when I'm going to get him, but ultimately I know like I can get him to do whatever I want because he wants to make me happy. And so it's kind of reminding me of that type of dynamic for you. This man, you'll always win. You will always win. So being in this type of relationship with someone who challenges you but also ultimately always gives in, it requires a lot of self-examination from your own self, right? To make sure that you are treating things appropriately. Because if you know that you can always win, if you know that you're always going to be right in the end in whatever, it requires a level of responsibility and accountability from you to always take into consideration what he wants in a relationship, because he's always going to want to give you what you want. You have to make sure that it's not lopsided. You know what I mean? I feel like he's going to be very, very, very committed to you. Like, I have the 4 of Wands here. So, like, this is one and done for him. I think that once the relationship happens, there will never not be trust issues and things like that. Now, things can come up from your past, from his past. Uncomfortable feelings can come through, but it's not going to be mistrust because of the relationship. If any, and like trust issues come through, it's just going to be because of unresolved issues that you are bringing into the relationship, or that he is bringing into the relationship. But as far as like his commitment to you, he's full in. I don't think he will ever do anything to jeopardize your connection or your relationship. And I think if ever he's feeling some type of way, he will always come to you first. So you can just trust that he's telling you the truth. Trust that if he says he's going to do something, that he is going to come through for you on that. I feel like he's the type of person that wants to be a provider in the relationship. You said you've been thinking about that. What have you been thinking about? I think that the only time you can ever expect to feel like, oh no, what's going on? Why is he acting weird? It's only ever because he's doing something for you and he's just not good at it, at like hiding things. I don't think he's a very good liar. I don't think he likes lying. So if he's planning something for you, like your mom says to him, oh, I'm going to do this thing for SB's birthday, don't say anything, he might start acting weird around you. But it has nothing to do with him doing something shady. It's just him trying to keep the surprise or keep the secret. So just know that if he's ever acting weird, like don't go off the deep end with it, okay? Like in time, you'll figure out why he was acting so strange. I don't think that this has anything to do with like anything, sketchy or whatever, any funny business. I think this is just like, you'll notice his energy shifts. He likes telling the truth. He likes being straightforward and direct and honest because he doesn't like being put in the positions where he has to keep a secret from you. And if he does, he makes sure that it's not going to be a long time. So he's like, all right, I'll keep a secret for you, mom-in-law, but it'll only be for a day or two because I can't go much longer than that. Yes, Amy, you're after SB, and then I'll be done for the night. He's so gentle. Aww. Seems like he'll go with what you want, but you like his input. Exactly, SB. Like, ultimately, you have final say. So that when I say don't abuse it, I'm like, don't abuse it, girl. But you deserve to have that. You deserve to have someone who is like, if it's more important to you to get things to go your way, he's more than willing to make that happen. And that's like another great thing about this type of person is that when he does put his foot down, when he does say no, absolutely not, and he challenges you, then you go, okay, he never says no to me and he's putting his foot down right now. I need to take this very seriously because like it really means something to him. But if it's something that's not a big deal at all, he'll give in to you all day, every day. So, he wants to make you happy. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's what I got, SB. Let me know if you have any questions before we move on to your next one. So SB, we're going to get started into the next question. But if you have any follow-up to the first one, just let me know. So what he's saying is he really likes how cultured you are. So SB, I don't know if this has to do with like your background or your experience or your beliefs or something like that. But basically he's saying she's so cultured. Like he knows that you're the type of person that if you live somewhere completely foreign, you are immersing yourself in that culture. Okay. Like you're going all out. You're going, I want to know everything about it. I want to try the food. I want to listen to the music. Like you really want to experience this. All right. And I think that because of that, because you have such a profound respect for other places and other cultures and other beliefs, it makes you for an extremely well-rounded individual. And not only that, but it shows the respect that you have for every culture, every ethnicity, every region, every nation. Like you are just so open and so inviting. And not only that, but you're brilliant about it. Not only can you immerse yourself in it and kind of like become a part of that little bubble for a little while, but you're so brilliant about it because you can also share it with other people. Okay. So I know in your kitchen, I know that whether you're ordering food or you're making it yourself, you have such a like vast palate. You've probably tried foods before that like other people have never had. You're very much open to what everyone has to offer. And that's literally was I was going to say next. I was going to say the reason why he loves this about you is because he is the same way. So he's not going to sit here and be like, yeah, let's eat cheeseburgers and fries every day. He's like, that Peruvian restaurant? That is so freaking good. Let's go there. Or he's going to be like, you know what I've been like really like wanting? German food. Like, let's make some German food. Like, I feel like he's kind of in this place where it's like he's very open to that kind of stuff. And you're so brilliant with it. You're so intelligent about it. He loves your mind. He loves where you've been. He loves the knowledge you can offer. And the funny thing is, you pop off. Like, you're the type of person I know that could speak like a lot of different languages. You're interested in learning like other languages. And if you're not like bilingual or trilingual, you will be before your life is done, because that's just the type of person that you are. And he also loves when you pop off randomly with like trivial information. Like, you'll be saying something about something and he's like, how do you know that? And you're like, I don't know. I just learned it along the way. And you constantly are, see, that's what I'm saying. I knew it. And I don't know that about you. I don't think that's something we've ever talked about, but I'm like, no, that's definitely what he's sharing with me, is that that's how you are. But it's so funny because he loves hearing your mind. Like, he loves when you randomly come up with some type of like fact about something that he didn't know. So it's like you're constantly teaching him things, and like this is just a dream for him. You know some other languages. So what are you bilingual? I know English, obviously. What's the other language? So this is something that's very important to him, and you know why? It's because that's the type of person he wants in the mother of his child. He wants someone who can teach their child about the world, who can introduce them to other things and other ways of being and other cultures, and being very accepting and non-judgmental. And so you are kind of planting the seeds right now of him going, maybe she'd be an amazing mom to my kid one day. And that's very attractive to a man. So anybody in general, but I feel like, furthering his lineage, right? Like reproducing and continuing his line, continuing his legacy, which seems to be a theme tonight, is very important for him. And I think that if he can see a mother in you, a caring, nurturing, doting type of person, and that's where I'm going next because I have the 2 of Cups and the 6 of Cups. He's like, that's wife, that's mother of my child. And he said a real one. Yeah, one time he was like, oh, that's the Belgian flag. I said, nope, definitely Romanian. I was right. That's so funny. Yeah, like he loves when you can just come up with this random shit. He's like, what? How do you know that? And you're just like, no, I just know. I just know. And that just shows like how beautiful like the world of your children are going to be together, and how beautiful the world of your life is going to be together. Like when you can be with someone who's like, yeah, I don't need to stay in this one place for the rest of my life. Let's go explore. Let's go live somewhere different. I've done it before. That's exciting to me. The possibilities are endless, SB. And so with every conversation that he has with you, he feels like the doors are opening up for him. Like it's like constantly now doors open up over here, windows open up over here, and pretty soon there's no structure whatsoever. It's like he can just do a full 360 panorama of his future and see that it can literally be anything that you guys want it to be, because you're the type of person that's not going to put yourself into a box. And he loves like how nurturing you are. He loves how caring you are. He loves how protective you are. You bring a sense of comfort. And like SB, you've done it already. You've done it already, and I know it. There's something that has happened where like you guys are eating, you're sitting down eating, and you're serving him first. And I know it has already happened. You've poured him a drink first and gave it to him, or you made him a plate before you make yourself a plate. There's something about this specific gesture that you have done, and maybe you've done multiple times, that is the world to him. And I don't know why, but he likes feeling like you're going to take care of him. You're going to take care of his needs. And that is something that is just like amazing to him. I don't know why. I don't know if it's like reminding him of something or what it is, but basically he sees that you think of him first. And it doesn't mean that he's going to come first in your mind, but it means that you're taking care of his needs and making sure that he's getting the first of whatever or the best of whatever, because you want to make sure he's taken care of. That specific act is like an act of service, which is like a love language for him. To see that you're catering to him or anticipating his needs is very important. You said it's funny. You made him a pie on Sunday and you told him everyone smelled it at the house, but you made it for him and only him. And you told him that. See, that's what I mean. I was like, I know that she's done something to him that made him feel like this is for me. Like she's taking care of me. Aww, that's so sweet. So, SB, that's what I've got for you, friend. We're going to move on to Amy. Amy, if you want to drop your question in the chat. I made one later for my family, but he thought it was sweet. It is sweet. It is very sweet. Well, I love where this is going, SB. Just one foot in front of the other. Just enjoy the journey, as I said. You're very welcome. What's the truth of your little brother's friends' views and things said about me? I think they're talking about your life, Amy. So one topic of conversation that's coming up is, oh, you have a feeling they could be saying something. One topic of conversation that's coming through has to do with like your work life or your career that's being brought up. Like, I don't know if you went to college or if you just started working right out of school, but there's something to do with like your livelihood, like your career, your finances, what you do for a living, is a topic of conversation, it seems. There could be some questions from friends to your brother about like, oh, what do you do for a living? What are your plans? Like, maybe there's conversations that you have had about like your next steps in terms of where you're living or if you're saving up for something. That topic of conversation has come through. It's on a pause. Yeah, it has to do with like being a student or a scholar. Financial debt. Yeah, that's a lot. Let's see. What are they talking about? Do you have anxiety, Amy? There could be something here in terms of mental health. Yeah, I do have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So it says lack of money, poor financial control, lack of opportunities, or loss of opportunities. They're definitely talking about your finances, Amy. Your finances and your job. I don't think they're making judgments about this, honestly. But if you're worried about something negative being talked about, I do feel like it has to do with like your life or your plans. But I don't think that they feel like they're in a position to be able to judge you on that. It's just a conversation that has been brought up. I do have recognition of anxiety here. So maybe there's certain ways in which you have acted. Again, this is from your little brother's views, okay? Your little brother's perspective. So there could have been times where he's like very frustrated or he's like getting annoyed. I don't know, sibling stuff. Or maybe he's worried about you. So he has brought this up to his friends. Like, yeah, she's been dealing with a lot of anxiety lately. It's been really hard because there's something to do here with like recognition of anxiety, it seems. What are they saying about her? What are they saying about her? We do have the Seven of Swords here, which talks about deceit or lies or underhanded behavior. Hold on one second. All right. So what kind of stuff do you feel like they're saying about you? Because I also have the Seven of Swords, which talks about like maybe they've been spying on you, if that makes sense. Like, I almost feel like it's kind of gossipy, which is weird for like young 20s, late teens type of conversations. But there's like this feeling, oh, they may have also actually been talking about the loss as well that you've had with Eli, and like your grief over that as well, because I do have the heartbreak card here, 3 of Swords, but there's something here where they're like talking about you or spying on you or speculating about you or something like that. It could be out of concern for you, but I don't think it's malicious, but it could be, I suppose. Your little brother knows you're very much the leader of the family, but recently with political things, your little brother accidentally started tension between you and a couple of his friends. Ooh, okay. One of them has been spying through your story. Yeah, I'm definitely getting that here with this 7 of Swords. But Amy, what I will say, because I have the 7 of Swords, so like I'm just gonna read to you like what the 7 of Swords is it's deceit, lies, trickery, cheating, theft, underhanded or dishonest or dangerous or risky behavior, enemy masquerading as a friend, spying, escaping connection, things like that. So, it would make sense to me if this person isn't following you anymore, that maybe this like really upset them, Amy, your political views potentially, because I do have the 3 of Swords next to the 7 of Swords. So this could have been very disappointing to this person, hearing like differing of views or opinions. That maybe this person thought that you felt one way, and then to come to find out you feel a different way, and that could have been very upsetting to this person. But there could just be, yeah, I think there's been a lot of topics of conversation. I think it has to do with your career, your schooling, and your finances. I think it could have to do with your anxiety and your loss and your grief. And I also feel like it could have to do with this political stuff, because this card is literally like, I can't be friends with her anymore, or like I don't want to be associated with her anymore. But for whatever reason, it's like this feeling of disappointment, okay, from this person. This person either disappointed you or you disappointed them, or vice versa. But it's like, I thought you felt one way, and now come to find out you feel a different way, and that bothers me. Now I'm upset about this. Are they talking about politics? Okay, I am getting that they are talking about politics. I have a yes on that. We have the Queen of Wands. They are not talking about it anymore, however, Amy. I think the conversation has come to an end because someone has bowed out of the conversation and said, I don't want to talk about this anymore. So I don't think that they're still talking about it. You're upset towards them. It's tough. It's tough. This time of year, I feel like has been so much of a struggle, because I've seen so much hate and so much divide, and it just like really hurts, because I feel like it's a spiritual warfare, and I don't feel like anybody should be choosing one side over the other. You're going to lose family, you're going to lose friends. I know these people are saying to that, good riddance. If they don't agree with me, good riddance. But I don't think that that's the right approach. I do think that it's your right to have differing opinions, and it shouldn't risk a relationship. It shouldn't. You said because of the political thing, your little brother said his friend told you should DM him, and you're like, no. Yeah, rage bait. For me, it's more so as long as you respect me, I'm fine. Yeah, I completely understand that, Amy. I think that your brother probably put a stop to whatever was going on, trying to look out for you. I think your brother might have been the one to say, guys, like, let's stop talking about this, because I think he's trying to be the mediator. We have the Judgment card here. I think he's very disappointed about how this is like playing out. So I think your brother is trying to say, hey, take this out of here. If you guys want to talk about it between you guys, but I don't want to be a part of it. So I was feeling like the conversation had come to an end, that they did mention it, but they're not talking about it anymore. That might be because your brother is like, I don't want to be put in the middle of this. And like, I think that your brother just wants peace, honestly, between you guys. But he's like, if there's not going to be peace, I'd rather you guys handle it without me being a part of it or something. But there's someone here that's like very upset about this, like feeling very disrespected, very hurt, very disappointed, very offended. It could be both of you, but there's someone here, at least one of you guys are feeling that way. I think, Luna, you can guess which side I'm on, but I told my brother if they want to talk to me, they can. Can we confirm names? Yes. Give me yes, no's, please, so that way I can be very specific with my question. Honestly, Amy, I'm not sure what side you're on. To be completely honest, I feel like it could be 50-50 either way. But I could guess. I just think that it's such a tiny difference, in my opinion. They're both... That's so weird. I'm getting like a taste for this, like an everything pizza. Like, that's so weird. Why am I getting a taste for an everything pizza? Yep, I was gonna say that, Amy. I have a feeling I should have guessed it. All right, let's see. You know what's sad too is that you're specifically like, I voted Democratic this year. You know why that's sad to me is because if you agreed with the views, like in general, and like the policy plans and things like that, that should always be your political party, because it typically shouldn't change that much. But because we're not given amazing options, it's like we always have to just pick like the lesser of two evils. It's like every election you're flip-flopping all the time, or most of the time. And like, that's sad to me, because you should feel very passionate about one specific area. But like I said, I mean, the line of difference between voting one way or the other is so minuscule. And for me, like, I didn't vote because I would be driving to the polls still not knowing who I'm going to choose. And I felt like that was doing a disservice to everyone for me to go to the polls and not really know which way. I wish that I could cherry pick. I should have just done the third party, honestly. But I want to cherry pick certain policies. And I also don't want either of those people representing our nation, like them as people. So it's like I had to like narrow it down to the policies. It probably would have been Democratic for me too. But I just felt like I was doing a disservice to everyone who felt so passionately to like be in this place where I didn't feel passionately. And I don't want to vote until I feel passionately about the person running, because my one vote, if everybody thought the way that I thought, yes, my one vote would matter. But in the outcome, if you look, I didn't vote. And the thing is that I knew that which way it ended, I was going to feel the same. Like if they said, oh, Trump won, I'd be like, okay. And they'd be like, oh, Kamala won. I'd be like, okay. Like I knew that me voting wasn't going to do a lot because I wasn't sure. And I think that I would have voted Democratic just because I believe in the rights of LGBTQ. I believe in human rights, every person having basic human rights. I believe in like women having human rights and like having autonomy in the decisions that they make, that no one should have a say in, and things like that. So I probably would have voted Democratic, to be honest, but I don't like her and I don't like him. And I don't like the fact that we have to sit here and like decide between two extremes when I agree with certain things on one side and I agree with certain things on the other. It's like I have to sit there and go, okay, let me make a pros cons list. Like, let me count all of the things on one side that I agree with and count all the things on the other side that I agree with and see which one is more things and then vote that way. Like, I don't know. I don't like the process. I don't like that basically everybody who went out and voted wasn't 100% sure. They were just trying to make the best decision with what they had. I'm tired of being in this position where we have to decide on like the lesser of two evils, or like, okay, but which one do you lean towards the most? Like, no, I should feel passionately about the person running. I should feel passionately about the policies. I should feel like, you know, what I'm voting for really resonates with me. And I didn't feel that way yesterday and I didn't vote. And people are probably going to hate on me for that. But at the same time, I'm also not going to lose friendships because I voted the quote unquote wrong way. Like, I've seen so many people being like, if you don't agree with me, unfollow me. Like, if you voted this way, just go ahead and unfollow me. And I'm like, why so much hate? I don't like this. And I feel like I'm above it. I feel like I'm looking at it from another perspective. Like, I feel like sometimes I think the world's a stage, and I think that however it was going to go is how it was going to go. I think that if they removed the Electoral College, I would have probably voted because I would have felt like it mattered more. All right, so you said you wonder if it's Shay. Let's take a look here. You usually opt for Democratic because they hold closer to how you feel. Funny enough, you're actually a moderate. That means liberal. You even consider third party. Yeah, that's what I considered. Yeah, pretty much. And my little brother's friends voted for Trump, and of course I felt disappointed and upset about it. Mostly in regards to women's rights. Yeah, absolutely. Is it Shay? Please show me a yes or a no. Is it Shay? Is it Shay? Please show me a yes or a no. Is it Shay? I don't think it's only Shay, Amy. I think that Shay might have like been a part of this, whatever your specific question is. But I think that this isn't the only person. There's someone else in this group. Also, you can post your second BOGO whenever you're ready. Okay, good. Because I was going to say, I think it's 2 people. All right, is it Eric? Is it Eric? Is it both Eric and Shay? Is it both Eric and Shay? Give me another name, because I still don't feel like this is right. They voted Trump. Is there anyone else that you suspect? I feel like this was almost like a group conversation. Okay, is it Cameron? Is it Cameron? Is it Jacob? Is it Jacob? Okay, no Jacob, yes Cameron. Is it Shay, Eric, and Cameron? Is it Eric and Cameron? Is it Shay and Cameron? Cameron is included in that, Amy. I think it was a bit of all 3. Okay. I don't think it was like any one person singled out, if that makes sense. All right, so what is your second BOGO question? Sounds good. You mentioned the assistant principal at school that you find cute. Yes, I remember. You don't talk to him that much. Okay. What does he think of you, your appearance, or anything that stood out for him? What does he think of her? All right, something tells me you dress very modesty. I don't know what the word is. You dress like very professionally. However, you can't really hide your jugulars, Amy. Even if you wear buttoned up all the way to your neck, you can definitely tell like the size and like the appearance of your breasts. So I feel like this person has definitely taken notice of that area. Can't really deny the curves, right? Can't really deny any of that. Let's see. What stood out for him, please? Ah! I mean, look, it says what it says. I can't ignore it. Do you wear your hair down most of the time? I was trying to figure out why I'm seeing your hair pulled back. YMCA leggings and then sweatpants. You switch your hairstyle? Okay. Yeah, I think that he's taking notice of your hair for sure. Trying to figure out if he likes it pulled back or down. Does he like your hair pulled back or down? Actually, I think he likes your hair always. I will say he probably likes it down more. If there's like a half up, half down style that you do, or like where it's kind of pulled a little bit out of your face, but still kind of down. Let's see. Ponytail or a bun. It's just the way that your hair kind of falls and like frames your face. He really enjoys that quite a bit. He feels like you're bubbly and you've got like a lightness to you. But at the same time, he feels like you keep your distance from him, is what he's saying or what he's showing. So I feel like he still feels like he hasn't had a chance to figure you out. Oh, you have done the half up, half down. Okay. Cause I was like, that's what I'm getting specifically. I did see ponytail, but I saw half up, half down. But he's saying that he feels like you're not standoffish. He still feels like you're very friendly, but he feels like he hasn't really had a chance to figure you out yet. That you kind of are, you keep to yourself, I guess is the best word for it. What has stood out to him? I'm just getting very, very curvy. Like, for whatever reason, it's like your curves, girl, because I've got a lot of water energy. And so to me, that kind of indicates like waves, curls, just like a very feminine type of silhouette that you have about you that he's been noticing. He likes that he has some height on you. So I'm not really getting very clear if he's tall himself or if he's on the shorter side, but regardless, he likes that he has some height on you, like that there is. So like for instance, um he might be tall and really into shorter girls, and he likes that because he likes the idea of just like, oh, I'm the man, I'm like the protector or whatever. But then there are some men that are on the shorter side, and when they see a shorter girl, they're more attracted to them because it makes them feel taller, if that makes sense. So regardless, like there's this feeling of, oh, I have height on her, I'm taller than her, and that makes me feel good about myself. Like I like having height on her. You said, yeah, you only talk to him when you actually have an opportunity. If your kids are messing with him, you playfully talk to your kids and him. You've been wearing those bootleg leggings. He is taller than you. Okay. There's just something about it that he's really liking. What else? What else? I would say he likes your eyes, Amy. I'm getting that he likes your eyes. There's something around like your forehead, eyes area. Maybe your bangs. Do you wear bangs? Maybe you have like a really good eye contact or something. Like when you see him, you're like able to lock eyes and like really keep him like stuck there or something. But there's something to do with your eyes specifically that he likes. It's like the area of like your third eye, eyes, that in general. I think he would be excited to see you dress up. Um, and he wants to see you out of your work uniform, if that makes sense. I think there has been like some kind of flirty energy between you guys. I think he's picking up on the vibes that you are putting down. So I think that he doesn't quite know for sure that you are like attracted to him or you're interested, or you got your feelers out there or crush, whatever you would like say about your connection. But I think that he does kind of have a feeling that there might be something going on there because he's noticing you. So that's telling me that he's a very sensitive type, that he's really able to pick up on energies very well. He's not oblivious um, to like the feelings that you're putting out there for him. But yeah, that's the extent of what I can offer right now, because I feel like you guys haven't had a chance to really get to know each other. There's been a lot of like looks and shared looking at one another, or like vibes, feelings. Like it's hard to put into words because I think it's still so new right now. He definitely likes when you look at him. You have really good eye contact with him, I feel like. Um, or he's noticing like you looking at him. So I think that he's noticing you. I definitely think he's picking up what you're putting down, but I still think it's too soon to tell. You're welcome, Amy. All right, friend. I hope you have a good night. I'm going to go ahead and sign off, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.